Hey, everybody, welcome back for day 54 of 100 Days of Halloween. I hope you are doing well and have been enjoying your weekend and got plenty of crafty and crochet time in, as well as some rest and relaxation. So, 100 Days of Halloween, what are we doing? Well, my lovely friend and Yarny sister over at the Woolly Llama Shop, Ranee, was discussing with several of us on a live that she was wanting to do a blanket for the 100 Days of Halloween this year, and which was coming very quickly, I might add. And her idea was, rather than a full on blanket that was going to continually grow, with it being hot in the South, she wanted to do it in little small bite-sized pieces or 6-inch by 6-inch granny squares with either a fall or Halloween theme, fall or Halloween applique, some kind of design element, colorways, etc. And I thought it was a brilliant idea. And so, because I had been wanting to make a Halloween blanket for quite some time and just hadn't had a chance, I told her I was in it. I was ready to join her. And so, yeah, and a couple of other Yarny friends and sisters have also joined in. They are not making blankets. However, we have Patricia over at the Yarny Cat Crochet, who is making, she has made two projects, smaller ones, a scarf and I think it's a messenger bag or a cell phone purse. They are awesome. The links for her videos are in the description box. And Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations is making wearables for her and some near and dear littles in her life. And she's dropping a video about once a weekish to update on squares. And she's not going to show those projects until I think it's the 13 days leading up to Halloween. So we won't be able to see those until then. And I'm like so excited to see them because I know they're going to be super awesome. But so we've been doing squares. Rainey's doing hers a little different. She had searched the interwebs, compiled this really extensive list of all different kinds of squares, appliques, etc. And she's drawing them out at random daily, pretty much every day, unless she's working on the weekends. And providing you guys with a free block square applique that you can make at your leisure for whatever project you want if you are so inspired. And I'm doing mine a little different. I'm not as organized. I decided to throw caution to the wind and whatever inspiration strikes me, whether it's your guys' inspiration or like my uncle's through text message, or if I see something. Um, so sometimes the square have a motif involved. Sometimes a lot of it is applique. Um, some of it's freehanding, a little more than I thought I would be. And some of it is just color, Halloweenish colorway yarn play. And that's how we're doing it. The only random thing pretty much I'm doing every day now is drawing a square at random out of my boo box of fate because I had got a bunch of squares done in advance. And whatever we draw out at random is what inspiration I take and decide what we're going to do with it for the following day. So that leads us up to we are on day 54. Yes, we are. We've completed 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, and 41 through 50, to which I am doing video shorts for a recap of whatever squares are in those 10 days before they get added into my blanket so you guys can see them in all their glory. Yeah, before I feed the blanket. So um, I am putting them in C2C fashion and joining them with this colorway right here, the Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo Stripes in brights, and using a slip stitch zigzag join, and it is turning out awesome. So yes, that leads us up to what group of 10 we're working on. So this go round, we started with 51 and we're going to work our way to 60. I can't believe we are that far already. And so let's do a real quick rundown and get to what today's square is for day 54. So for day 51, we drew out this tricolored orange square. And like I told you guys in the last couple of videos, My uncle hated it. He said, he texted me and said, cover that up. No. And he kind of gave me some inspiration by telling me what he wanted to see. And so I kind of did a little bit of searching and I found a coffin applique. And all the information for whatever appliques, if it wasn't freehanded, is in the description box. Um, so I did the coffin and it was kind of giving me goth vibes. So I went with these sparkly black rosettes, and there's a video tutorial for that. It's a quick 5-minute video, very fast. And I just freehanded a green chain for the vine and made some little leafy bits as I went along and then slip stitched it on. So that was what we went with for day 51. So then day 52, for day 52, we drew out one of these spiral squares. I keep wanting to say squirrel swirl. Maybe we should nickname it Squirrel Swirl. And it's from the Sirdar Halloween blanket crochet along information also. And I had a few ideas as to something that could go on it that wouldn't cover it up totally, but it kind of got lost and it took away from the design as well. So we decided to leave it blank because I think they're super cool. And it kind of, the blanket is so busy with appliques, it kind of gives it a little break. So then for day 53, we drew out another hot pink sparkle fuchsia kind of square. And you guys know I am obsessed with black kitty cats. And I had been seeing this pattern for a black cat. I keep wanting to call it a bunting, but they call it a garland. And it's free on Ravelry. So the link is down below. And so I just made one and we put it in the center square to show off the black kitty because I am throwing black kitties in here like crazy and I am all about it. I love it. So there we go. That was day 53. That led up to day 54. And we drew a different kind of square, it had a design element within itself. And we are going to read what you guys said, what your suggestions were. So, first comment was from Ranee at the Woolly Llama Shop. She said, leave it blank. Your blanket is going to be the black kitty blanket. And I won't be mad about it either. Um, and she was telling me not to worry about pre-recording for each day because I had talked about that. Maybe draw blocks ahead of time and video that in one video. Mark each one's day. Then show us what you did while you were gone. Family is more important. Yes. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Donna Hoskinson, hey girl, said, yes, I think you should leave this one blank. Patricia at the Yarny Cat Crochet said she loved it so much, the kitty. Of course she does. She's like me. She's all about some kitties. Um, she said that one's pretty much done. Just add the eyeball lines and it's a monster eyeball. Alana Hawkins said, adorable kitty. Do what you need to do as far as the squares. Do them ahead if you need. Either way, it will be exciting. I say leave the square alone. If you add anything, it will be too much. And Sam from Memphis Makes said, hi, Missy, leave it as is because it looks like a monster ogre eye. And I agree, it did. It did look like an ogre eye. It was giving me monster eye vibes. So I took pretty much almost everybody's suggestion and I left it be because with that center and then the iris, it it was giving me, or cyclops. So we left it be, so we wouldn't busy it up and cover any of it and everything. So that was where we at for day 54. So we had discussed how I was going to do my vacation squares because, yes, family is of major importance to me because I don't get to see them very often, maybe once a year, if not every 2 years. It just depends. And sometimes it's more than that, depending on the family member. And I want to spend as much quality time as possible while I'm up there. So today we are going to draw a week's worth of squares for my vacation time so I can work on them and build up to that time period. and I've got my bags marked already for the days. And that way, I already know what the squares are and I can be inspired and decide what I'm going to do with them so that I don't fall like super far behind. And then, because I know me and my OCD, I'm going to get frustrated if I do. So for this blanket not being very organized, and just being done on a whim and whatever inspiration strikes, this we are going to organize. So we're going to start by drawing these squares I have a bag for each one. And that way, if it needs like an applique or some kind of design element, I can be working on those and put them in with the square and work on them as I need to. So we're going to draw. We're going to draw for these first, and then should we draw for tomorrow? And then we'll draw for those. Let's draw for tomorrow, and then we will draw for those 7 and get that out of the way. So let's shake up the boo box of fate. And we got squares trying to jump out. So let's see. Oh, let's reach. Oh, okay. So we have this one for tomorrow. I think we just had one. I think we did. So we actually did. So I think we're going to put it in one of these bags since we just had one just like a few days ago. And that way they're not all like pushed together all the same. So we will put this in for September 24th. And we will flatten it out. So there's that one. So I guess we're drawing for these 7 days. Okay. So let's draw for Thursday. I didn't want to veto it. So, okay. So for Thursday, the 25th, we are going purple. And hopefully that doesn't mean we're going on a purple streak again. Because remember what happened before. It started going purple, orange, purple, orange. So we're going to put that in the bag. And it would have been nice if I would have woven in these ends prior to putting them all in the box. But it's okay. They will get woven in. Just want to flatten it out because they are pretty curly from being bounced around the box so much. So by squeezing it, we're flattening them out. So that is stuck and it's not wanting to close. Get in there. He said, no, I don't want to be picked. Okay, so let's pick for Friday the 26th. Stir, stir, stir. No. See, I'm telling you, it's jinxed. We got a veto. We can't do 2 purples in a row. Okay, let's... Alrighty, we've got a bright one of these out of the Super Saver Jumbo Stripes bright. So we will be doing that for Friday the 26th. Let's put it in there. Might have been a good idea if I would have opened these. Bear with me. Because if I was that organized, guys, you guys would not think I was any good. Okay. So now we are going to draw for Saturday the 27th. And please don't be purple. Apparently, these squares are liking being very similar. So But this one's a C2C out of those brights, and it's like the neon um, green and yellow. So we'll go with it. And this one has the ends woven in. But I have a habit of doing that. Whenever I'm doing C2C, I always do them as I go. So, because for some reason, I'm a little OCD with the ends on a C2C. All right. And now we are up to Sunday, the 28th. Let's get something different, guys. Another green. What is it with green? This is that, is it gecko green from Big Twist? I think it's gecko green. Apparently, this is not a problem we've had before. It was always the orange and purple, and now apparently green wants to be seen and heard. So we're going to go with it. It's going to be a lot of green. But thankfully, we are putting the blanket together in C2C, so they're not like always like right next to each other because they're going like this. So it does help, I've noticed. All right. No more green. We have 2 more days to draw for. So let's do Monday, the 29th. Oh. Okay, we got darker. We've got this one. However we want to do it. We like these colors. We like these colors. So that is Monday, the 29th. Get in there. I figured there would be a lot more randomness. Kind of the box is speaking. Or the colors, I guess. I don't know. They're saying, pick me, and one more for Tuesday, the 30th. Let's get something different. Okay. We're all about some color for that week, I guess. Is that telling me that it's going to be a bright, sunshiny trip? I hope so. So we've got another one of those eyes, but this one is different for that week. It's going to be orange, purple, then green, then black, and then start with the orange, purple, and go out to the green. See, because this was this one. So that is the one for Tuesday, the 30th. So that's a lot of color, guys. And a lot of, I'm going to have to ponder on these for sure. Thank goodness we drew them out now. Because it might take me all this time up until I go on vacation to get it figured out. So there we go. That is the vacation draws right there. That's a lot of color. And so let's draw for today. Let's see what we get. Oh. No, there's no way. Nope, I veto because we just did that yesterday. My goodness. As much as we have mixed these up, all of a sudden they want to come out in batches. Again, it's saying I want to be seen. No. Gosh. Oh, let's mix them up. Mix them up. Okay. I cannot believe that square after all that mixing and shaking, and it was determined. So we are doing like this brick red, deep red. Oh, I know what I'm seeing on this one. And if you guys are thinking the same thing I am for tomorrow because of this color, I bet you any amount of money you guys are thinking the same thing I am for this one for tomorrow. So put your suggestions or your guesses in the comment section, and we're going to see if we were all on the same wavelength for this. So I guess there's that. And no, I have not update on the blanket. The last 10 squares that we finished, uh, 41 through 50, have not been added to the blanket yet. And for the new ones, I'll give you a real quick sneaky peek, because they probably will be being added in this evening. So, like I said, I'm putting it together in a C2C style. And we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks going up and 8 blocks going across. So we will be adding tonight, probably, where we will have 9 going across. And yeah, and there we go. And I am loving how it's coming out. It is so super cool. I can't wait to see when we finally finish, whenever that will, because I know I'm going to put a trim on it and all that stuff. Um and I will be using this to trim it out as well, because here's the join right there in that slip stitch zigzag, and you can barely even feel it there. It's not a huge bump or anything. It's pretty flat, and I will be using that for a lot. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm so over the moon that Ranee thought of this brilliant idea, and that a bunch of us have jumped on board. So there's your last sneaky peek before we add more squares. And no, my blanket is not like Rainey's. It is not the blanket that Spiders built. Apparently, it is the blanket that Kitty's built. Um, so yeah. Um, so those of you who are working on fall projects, whether you're doing our squares or any of those, or taking inspiration from anything, or from Nova or from Patricia, send us pictures of what you're making. Doesn't have to be a blanket. It could be anything fall or Halloween themed. We want to see what you guys are doing. Um, or let us know, are you guys just following along for the fun, or cracking up with some of the mishaps and mayhem, or whatever? But yeah, just let us know what you guys are doing for fall or Halloween, because we are quickly getting closer and closer to spooky time, spooky season, pumpkin spice season. Yeah, so I guess with that, I'm going to let you guys go, and that way you can enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And now we have my vacation day squares pulled and labeled, so we know what we will be working on, and it is a whole lot of bright green. And only one purple, which is really surprising. Um, so yeah, I'll be working on those on the sidelines too, and seeing what we can do with them and where we're going to go from there. So I guess with that, and remember, don't forget to guess or suggest what you think is going to go on this deep brick, like blood red right here. And I also got an email from one of you guys, and I'm not going to save their name yet. She didn't tell me if I could use her name or not when I do talk about this. She had an epiphany, an idea, a moment of inspiration, and she sketched out a little picture and sent it to me of something she wanted to see on a square. And I think it's absolutely adorable. It's brilliant. We haven't done anything like it. And I do intend on, I have saved it. We will be doing that on a square that I think will be good for it. We just have to draw out a certain color, and so we will be seeing that. But you need to let me know whether I can use your name or not to credit you for your moment of brilliance. and your drawing inspiration, because I thought that was awesome that she decided to actually reach out to me with a picture of her drawing. Yeah, that touched me, and I thank you for that. So yeah, please let me know if I can use your name to credit you when we do talk about that square. When because I will be working on an applique stuff for it. I will just need to wait for a square for that, unless I pull a square just to put it on there at some point, and it'll be a surprise square that we didn't draw at random, because you never know with me, right? I'll mix it up and I will keep you guys guessing. So, with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you back tomorrow for day 55 of 100 Days of Halloween. Love you guys bunches. Bye for now.